Hello, this is Breakfast with Susanna Reid and Bill Turnbull.
It's reshuffle day for the coalition government. It's Tuesday the 4th of September.
Also ahead today, a second night of violence.
So details beginning to emerge. What else do we know? Analysis of those changes as they happen throughout the morning. Thank you for now.
15 police officers have been injured in a second night of violence in North Belfast. 3 of them were taken to hospital.
Officers fired baton rounds and used water cannon when they came under attack from rioters who were throwing petrol bombs and bricks.
A university in London says it's going to launch a legal action against the UK border agency after a decision to ban it from teaching international students.
Yes, the UK border agency was today condemned by MPs for causing chaos in the student visa system, and we are going to be speaking to the Public Accounts Committee Chair, Margaret Hodge, in a few moments here on Breakfast.
In other news this morning, a woman's drowned after she was swept out to sea with her 2 sons.
The Olympics may have lifted Britain's morale, but so far the Games have failed to deliver a similar boost to retailers.
Yes, the British Retail Consortium has published figures showing sales at the shops fell in August compared with the previous year. Prince Harry has made his first public appearance since controversial photographs of him at a party in Las Vegas were published last week.
Yes, he attended an award ceremony organised by the Well Child charity to support seriously ill children and their medical staff. Our royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell has more. 8:10. That brings you right up to date with the main stories this morning. And Alex Deacon will bring you a weather forecast in the next few minutes.
First, though, we've been hearing this morning that London Metropolitan University is launching a legal action against the UK border agency, which revoked its licence to sponsor international students. This news on the same day that a committee of MPs has criticised the border agency for the way it's changed the visa system.
Yes, the Public Accounts Committee says controls on students coming into Britain from outside the EU have been poorly planned and have left universities struggling. Well, the chair of that committee, Margaret Hodge, was a system that was supposed to be cracking down on the number of bogus students coming into the UK. You think that actually thousands more may have come as a result of the changes? I think we've seen already with the situation at London Metropolitan University that they are complaining now that they are a victim of those changes and that there wasn't enough preparation. Now, when we spoke to the Vice-Chancellor a little bit earlier, I mean, they, of course, have had their licence revoked for taking students from outside the EU. He raised the question whether they were going to be the only ones who were going to be facing action. Do you think that the situation at that university might be the tip of the iceberg? This is all, of course, part of an effort to crack down on bogus students who come into the country but actually don't study and just go and get work, perhaps to which they're not entitled. But is it not reasonable that universities should take a much bigger and much more rigorous approach to the assessment of those students coming in? Yeah. Hodge, thanks very much.
It's 8:16. Still to come on the programme this morning.
Our hearts melt in person as well this morning.
He's
singing to us.
Yeah, he is.
Is Alex on song with the weather this morning? Is it going to be another lovely day, Alex?
Well, there's a bit more. Thanks very much. Ross Hawkins in Westminster now.
8:22. Now, it may come as no surprise that America has the highest levels of obesity in the world. But according to a leading doctor, Wales is fast catching up.
Yes, about 60% of adults in Wales are overweight, 3 in 5. And Dr. Nadeem Haboubi, the chair of the country's obesity forum, says thousands of people are missing out on essential surgery and support. How can it be tackled then? Hal Griffith is looking at the issue at the Leisure Centre in Abergavenny for us. Morning, Hal.
Thanks very much indeed.
Quick note of breaking news on the Cabinet reshuffle.
Yes.
The Culture Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, has gone out for a run this morning. When asked what job he'd be in this evening, he said, "No news, I'm afraid." It's all happening like this morning. Twitter, people talking on their doorsteps.
It was all in the timing, that piece of breaking news, wasn't it?
That's the way I tell it.
Well, coming up, BBC News morning.
Here on Breakfast, though.
Time now to get the news and travel wherever you are this morning. Only saying goodbye for a moment.
The Olympics may have lifted Britain's morale, but so far the Games have failed to deliver a similar boost for retailers.
In the United States, the Democratic Party will start making the case today for Barack Obama to be elected to a second term in the White House.
Prince Harry has made his first public appearance since rather controversial photographs of him at a party in Las Vegas were published.
Yes, he was at an award.
Those are the main stories this morning. What's coming up later in the programme then?
Let me tell you, Paralympic GB sticking to the script and winning lots of gold medals for us. And Mike is at the Olympic Park this morning.
Yeah,
morning, Mike.
Good morning. Going beyond the
talk to them. Over the last month, the velodrome's been the scene of some of the most exciting moments of the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
The last track cycling events took place on Sunday, but before the velodrome closed its doors, the crowd was treated to one last rendition of God Save the Queen, when Anthony Capps and Craig McLean won Paralympic GB's fifth and final gold in the velodrome, and they joined a dramatic comeback after the day before.
It was a kind of very tense final, and very difficult, I expect, for the crowd to watch, because it was an all-British, all-GB final.
And some
different for you because you know the tactics, you know the people you're competing against so well because you're in the same team.
In some respects.
What is an advantage for you would also, of course, be an advantage for them as well.
Yes.
Anthony, you won with Barney Story in Beijing 4 years ago, so it's sort of almost bittersweet in a sense, isn't it, to beat the man that you won with in China?
How sweet.
Oh.
We're trying to work out this morning, you can probably confirm for us whether you are indeed the first Brit to win an Olympic and a Paralympic medal, because you made you change from one to the other.
Well,
just give us an idea of how you work together as someone with full sight and somebody behind with partial sight.
how do we work together?
Starts better in the morning, but you do more miles per gallon?
Of course, it's all over at the velodrome now. I didn't get the chance to go in there. Bill did and said the atmosphere was absolutely extraordinary. You're a testament to that. But it's sad that the velodrome has now closed its doors at the end of these events.
Yeah, I understand it's going to be...
I spoke to Alid Davis yesterday. He talked about being addicted to the atmosphere in the athletic stadium and how he wished they had more events to compete in. Was there sort of an added frisson to you being up there on the podium because it was the last medal ceremony there in the velodrome?
Not that...
Congratulations, Anthony. Congratulations to you both, Anthony Capps and Craig McLean, and thanks very much for coming to speak to us this morning.
Never tire of seeing a gold medal here on Breakfast.
And if you want to follow any of today's
Now, he's been warming up in the studio this morning. Joseph Correa has sung dozens of principal roles and performed on most of the world's leading opera stages. This weekend, he's going to become the first tenor in more than 30 years to headline the last night of the proms.
Joseph decided he wanted to be an opera singer as a teenager after watching Mario Lanza in the classic film The Great Caruso. And he's just released an album in tribute to the singer. So before we speak to Joseph, let's hear his version of Nessun Dorma.
Just a few months later, going to a choir, I used to carry
about his voice, was there a richness to because there have been many distinguished tenors over the years?
It was a mixture of, and he was funny and sweet at the same time, and it's also what is fantastic was a marriage of personality and vocal personality. So it was like his voice was...
It's like an almost spiritual moment. Like a kind of wake-up moment, and you realise what you wanted to do. How old were you at this point? We're imagining you sitting in the cinema. In fact, we saw pictures of you sitting in a cinema just a moment ago.
I was 13, actually. I was very young, and...
What happened, how we used to listen to music before, MP3 players.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm getting old. And,
out of you.
Quite a bit, yes.
Yeah.
You performed at the proms for several occasions, but this year you are headlining the last night of the proms. Why is it taking 30 years for a tenor to do that?
I have no idea. I think that it was just for the famous costume for Royal Britannia.
Yes, or a bottle of wine.
Or a bottle of wine, no.
Thank you so much. And you're going to be singing Be My Love.
Be My Love is the title of my new...
Anything special about that particular song? Is there a story to it? Or is it just...
It's one of the...
There's a particular note in it that you're able to carry off in an extraordinary way.
Indeed it has. You do research well. Indeed it has. Unfortunately we're not singing. It's a high C. It's a high C. It's one of the notes why tenors do not sleep at night.
Yes.
I was going to say, and perhaps 8:52 in the morning is a little early. But thank you very much. Be My Love. And he'll be performing at the last night of the proms on Saturday night and singing for us in about 10 minutes' time.
Then about high C's, Alex has probably got a middle C. Haven't you, Alex, with the weather? How did that happen?
That was actually towards...
So you signed up for The Voice, just to establish...
I haven't signed up yet.
Moving around a bit. There we go. The new album, number 3, #3, whatever you want to call it, out on the 10th. The new single's out now.
That is nearly all from us this morning. Back tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Gregory's Girl actor Gordon Sinclair here, talking about a novel he's written.
Yes. Now, though, to sing us out of the programme, Joseph Clare to perform Be My Love. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.